Country music has lost a true legend. Johnny Rodriguez, the trailblazing voice from Texas, has passed away at the age of 73. His family confirmed the heartbreaking news, revealing that the beloved singer died peacefully on May 9th after being admitted to hospice care. For fans of country music, and particularly those who followed the genre through its golden era of the 1970s, this marks the end of a significant chapter. But for those who knew Johnny personally, the loss runs even deeper. This wasn't just a man who graced the airwaves and climbed the charts. This was a husband, a father, a brother, and a friend, a man whose life was as textured and heartfelt as the songs he sang. His daughter, Aubrey, expressed the family's grief in a touching message shared on social media. She wrote with evident sorrow and love, "It is with profound sadness and heavy hearts that we announce the passing of our beloved Johnny Rodriguez, who left us peacefully on May 9th, surrounded by family." Dad was not only a legendary musician whose artistry touched millions around the world, but also a deeply loved husband, father, uncle, and brother whose warmth, humor, and compassion shaped the lives of all who knew him. While the world has lost an extraordinary talent, we have lost someone irreplaceable, and we ask for privacy as we navigate this painful moment together. For those who followed Johnny Rodriguez's career, the grief is mixed with admiration and gratitude. From his first appearance on the country music scene, Rodriguez brought something new, something thrilling, to a genre that, until then, had seldom heard voices like his. He was one of the first Hispanic artists to break through the barriers of Nashville, bringing with him a sound rich with Latin influence, which he wove beautifully into traditional country roots. It was this fusion, this blending of the heartland with the borderland, that gave Johnny a signature style all his own. And it wasn't just style. Rodriguez had a voice that could bring you to your knees. Smooth, plaintive, and utterly sincere, his tone carried both vulnerability and quiet strength, echoing the experiences of a life that knew both glory and hardship. Born in Sabinal, Texas in 1951, Johnny Rodriguez grew up in a tight-knit Mexican-American family. Even from a young age, it was clear that he had an exceptional gift, not just for music but for connecting with people. During his high school years, he was a standout student and a natural leader. He served as captain of the football team, and he was also an altar boy at his local church. His early life was steeped in responsibility, family, and faith. Yet, like many great artists, Johnny's life was touched early by tragedy, formative experiences that would later lend a deep emotional resonance to his music. Just 16 years old, Johnny lost his father to cancer, a loss that shook the foundations of his family. That wasn't enough. Heartbreak struck again the very next year when one of his brothers died in a tragic car accident. Those who knew Johnny say that these events changed him. He was no longer just a boy trying to find his way. He became a young man grappling with mortality and grief, emotions that would become key elements in his songwriting. Life took a dramatic turn when Johnny got in trouble with the law and was sent to jail for a minor offense. It was during his time behind bars that fate intervened. In an almost cinematic twist, his talent for singing caught the ear of a Texas Ranger named Joaquin Jackson. Jackson, moved by Johnny's voice, didn't just walk away with admiration. He took action. He told his friend James "Happy" Sheehan, a music promoter who was managing shows at the Alamo Village tourist attraction in Brackettville, that he needed to hear this kid sing. Sheehan invited Johnny to perform, and from that moment, the course of Rodriguez's life shifted permanently. While performing at Alamo Village, Johnny's voice captivated two country legends, Tom T. Hall and Bobby Bare, who immediately recognized his star potential. They urged him to move to Nashville, the heart of the country music world. Johnny took the leap and relocated to Music City when he was just 21 years old, a bold move that would pay off quickly. Within a year, he had signed a recording contract with Mercury Records, marking the beginning of a phenomenal career that would define him as a pioneer and a powerhouse. Between 1973 and 1978, Rodriguez was unstoppable. He delivered hit after hit, dominating the charts with 6 number-one singles and 20 songs that reached the top 10. His breakout single, "You Always Come Back to Hurting Me," set the tone for his success, showcasing not only his lyrical depth but also his ability to capture the ache of heartbreak and the longing for love. Other memorable tracks like Ridin' My Thumb to Mexico and That's the Way Love Goes cemented his status as one of the most emotionally resonant voices in the genre. There was a wistfulness in his songs, a sense that he wasn't just singing about love, he was feeling every note, living every story. Fans didn't just listen to Johnny's music, they experienced it with him. Johnny's popularity grew quickly, but he never allowed fame to change who he was at his core. Even as he performed to sold-out crowds and recorded with some of the biggest names in Nashville, Rodriguez remained deeply connected to his roots. His music continued to reflect the culture and traditions of his upbringing, and he often incorporated Spanish lyrics into his songs, a choice that was rare at the time and considered risky by some in the industry. But Johnny wasn't trying to play it safe, he was trying to be real. He wasn't trying to fit a mold, he was breaking it. And in doing so, he paved the way for countless Hispanic artists who would come after him. Over the years, Johnny Rodriguez earned accolades from music fans, fellow musicians, and even presidents. He was honored by George H. W. Bush, Jimmy Carter, and George W. Bush, each recognizing his contributions not just to music but to American culture. In 2007, his legacy was further immortalized when he was inducted into the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame, a well-deserved recognition for a man who helped define what country music could be. He was not just a singer, he was a trailblazer, a cultural bridge, and a living legend. Yet, Johnny's journey was not without its darker moments. In 1998, he was involved in a tragic incident that would thrust him into the national spotlight for reasons unrelated to music. Believing he was defending his home, Johnny shot and killed a man he thought was a burglar. The legal battle that followed was intense and emotionally draining, but in the end, a jury acquitted him of all charges. Though cleared, the experience left a mark. It interrupted his career and altered his personal life, but even in the aftermath, Johnny never stopped creating. His resilience was as much a part of his identity as his music. He returned to the stage, continued recording, and even released a live album in 2012, a testament to his enduring passion for performing and connecting with his audience. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Rodriguez maintained a loyal fan base. His tours took him across the country and even abroad, where he continued to be embraced by audiences who found comfort, nostalgia, and raw emotion in his performances. He wasn't trying to keep up with the trends, he was staying true to himself. And that authenticity is what kept fans coming back decade after decade. When news broke of his death, fans from around the world flooded social media with tributes. Messages poured in, each one a small but heartfelt tribute to the impact Johnny had on their lives. One fan wrote, "R.I.P. to another Texas legend. Johnny Rodriguez passed away today." With his smooth voice, heartfelt lyrics, and fearless blending of country and Latin influences, Johnny helped shape the sound of a generation. His songs were timeless and his impact undeniable. "Rest easy, Johnny." Another simply said, "R.I.P. Johnny Rodriguez, another country great is gone." These words, while brief, capture a deep truth. Johnny's music mattered. His voice mattered. And in a world that often forgets, he made sure we remembered to feel, to reflect, to sing.